Hello, so good evenings to everyone. My name is Sazon Afiq bin Muhammad Azri, and for today, I would love to present about the e-books of books to save the environment. Now, let's go through for the introduction of this topic. Now, if you are concerned with saving the environment, then you may think of the idea to choose an e-books over books. Why? You must be wondering, correct? Now, it because paper contributes about 26% of water on the landfills, and its production consumes about 10 to 25 kilograms of fresh water per paper. Paper are often found in every nook and cranny of the home, office, markets, everywhere, and it is not easy to forget that the negative impact production of paper has on trees, not to mention the environment. This negative impact, including pollution, will make us agree that it is important to reduce our dependence on paper to ensure the environment is safe. Now, let's go to the next slide, which is the impact of topic to environment. There are three impacts towards the environment, which is the first one, materials. Second one is manufacturing process, and the last but not least, transportation. Now, let's go on the first impact, which is materials. Based on the pictures or statistics that are shown here, do you know that ebooks extract approximately 33 pounds of minerals, including some toxics and conflicts mineral? It also uses up to 79 gallons of water and produce a large amount of waste, which is dumped in landfills. Meanwhile, for books, To produce a recycled paper took around 2.5–3 of pounds of minerals and 2 gallons of water. Combining the US book and newspaper production, it requires the harvesting of more than 100 million trees, generates tremendous amount of wastewater, and creates a sizable carbon footprint. Now, for the manufacturing process, ebooks manufacturing process consumes around 100 kilowatt hours of fossil fuels, and it produces more than 65 pounds of carbon dioxide. As stated above, most e-readers productions also utilize toxic chemicals which result in toxic emissions that can make asthma worse and increase the risk of premature death. How about books manufacturing process? Well, one book consumes 2 kilowatt hours of fossil fuels and approximately 7.5 kilograms of carbon dioxide, for a total of 100 times fewer greenhouse gases than those caused by the production of one e-book. Paper production often pose risks to virgin oil-growth forests, and the newspaper and book publishing industry consumes 153 billion gallons of water each year. And in order to produce an ink for printings, it releases volatile organic compounds into the atmosphere, which can aggravate smoke and asthma. It's a very bad idea, correct? And then, how about the transportation? Let's look at the impact of transportation. Now, ebooks, most of the new consumer electronics are produced abroad, which means that your new ebooks probably had to be shipped across oceans and land to make its way into your hands. All that shipping requires burning a huge amount of fossils, but books, since it depends whether it was purchased online or at a bookstore, it still requires the burning of fossil fuels because they use either planes, train car ship, plane, train, car ship, or automobile to deliver the ebooks. Meanwhile, 25 to 36% of all books in bookstore are returned to publisher, wasting a huge amount of energy and transportations. Now, moving on to the next slides. Here are the ways to stop cutting trees for paper to make books. First, the first thing is to use less paper. Fun fact: 2 million trees are cut every day just to supply the paper demand of the United States. Globally, 40% of all timber is used to make paper products, and the demand for paper increased by 2 to 3% every year. This means that the paper industry still consumes more and more trees. For example, more than 30% of wood used by paper mills in Indonesia, one of the major paper producers in the world, comes from illegal source. By printing out every email and wasting paper, you are unwittingly and spinning the wheel of illegal forest destruction. Reduce your paper use when you can. This way, you will decrease your contribution to the loss of forests. The second way is to raise awareness. Major environmental problems such as deforestation often continue to occur because of lack of awareness and knowledge about the problems. By educating people about the effects of cutting trees down in order to make papers for books, this way it will give them a moment to realize the action that will give an impact towards the environment. Better awareness and education is important even in the case of farmers. Education of local farmers about optimizing their land management will ensure that less forest areas need to be cleared for farming. After all, farmers are the steward of our lands. And last but not least, to fight government corruptions. Governments are often paid off by illegal logging companies to ignore their activities. Do not support corrupt politicians and system. Reduction of corruption will go a long way towards reducing deforestation. Overall, in many poorer countries, the lack of police presence and law enforcement means that illegal deforestation often goes unpunished and unnoticed for many years. Even though it is destroying the country economy and resources well, for example, 70% of Indonesia timber exports come from illegal logging. Besides leaving behind extensive damage to the rainforest, the country is also losing around 3.7 billion of 3.7 US billion every year in lost revenue. Now, here are the advantage and disadvantage of ebooks. Now, first of all, the advantage is low update cost. When the author needs to update certain parts of the ebooks, she simply edits the electronic documents, save the updated version, and then inform customer about the new release. The customer are either sent to the download page on the web or email the new version. In that case, of a printed book, the publisher will probably have to make a minimum production run of 1,000 copies. This takes time and money. The second advantage is the multimedia format. Unlike your usual printed books, ebooks can contain not only text and image, but also audios and even videos. This way, even the reader isn't the type of person who likes to read paragraph of text. He or she can choose to listen the audio version. If your ebooks are of PDF formats and you want to read it as a text format, then you can convert PDF to text. And last but not least, searchable. A number of ebooks supports a search button which allow you to quickly jump to the page containing the word you are interested in. Ever try opening a dictionary? The printed one, try an electronic version and marvel at the speed of search features. Now let's talk about the disadvantage about it. First of all, it's not convenient to read. Not convenient to read. Who wants to sit in front of a computer or screen for hours just reading your ebooks, right? Aside from gaining weight, sitting for prolonged periods of time can cause muscle strains, backache, and even an elevated cholesterol level. The second disadvantage is printing costs. If you distribute an ebook, your customer will most likely print it. And if your ebook is quite long, the printing cost will be shouldered by your readers. It is the same to DWG AutoCAD user. Your customer may prefer to read your graphic by printing it out, but DWG format is not compatible on many printers, but PDF format can. And last but not least, the privacy. With ebooks, your file can be easily emailed to someone. It can even be placed in public server for anyone to download. But paper books, you can read it while standing. And for the last slide, which is conclusion, paper books have some negative effect on the environment surely, but at the same time, books fill our life with positively. Books and all forms of paper products are increasingly harming our environment. We need to take careful measures to minimize the negative effect of paper production. Manufacturing books consume a lot from nature, but in return give us a lot more too. We must be careful to control the effect of paper books on our environment. We must be conscious of planting more trees and taking care of them. Our government should monitor the paper mills to see if they produce more legally and plant enough trees. We need to create awareness among people not to waste paper. A huge quantity of paper is wasted every year or burned. If we stop wasting paper, it will really result in tree saving. Also, we need to recycle unused, old, or abandoned papers instead of throwing or burning them. Collectively, we can establish a healthy balance between the environment and our favorite books. That is all from me. Thank you.